Hey guys, this is just going to be a short little, obviously sort of impromptu thing because I don't even use my regular camera. I'm just using my webcam like a scrub. I just knew for a fact that if I didn't speak about this, basically, I knew next time I turned on my stream, um, that this was the first thing that was going to be asked, so I figured I might as well discuss a little bit about it. I don't really have much to say. I don't usually respond to trailers because they're trailers. So unless something like looks ridiculous, But even then, I don't really. Anyway, so yes, the actual first trailer for the Sonic the Hedgehog theatrical live-action movie dropped. For those of you out of the loop, which I'm sure most of you already seen it, um, and reactions seems to be mostly negative from everyone else. So naturally, I'm here to be a jerk and not agree with everybody else because that's just how I roll. I don't necessarily completely disagree, because I kind of see where everyone's concerned, but hear me out on this. So I'm just going to break it down briefly. We're going to talk about things that were I thought surprisingly good, which I actually think Jim Carrey is going to be an excellent Dr. Eggman, Robotnik, whatever you want to call him. He's clearly going full ham on it, which I think is probably the best way to do it, um, with what they're working with. I mean, they could have gone all serious, but I think, first of all, Jim Carrey's generally better in comedic roles, and second of all, I think it works well with the material because he's sort of playing it more like Saddam, not Saddam, Adventures of than Saddam, um, in terms of his style. And lately, Sega's been doing more comedic Eggman too. So I think that's a good thing. Um, and they did drop at the very end his final actual design. He looks like a live action Robotnik. I mean, I've seen it could have done a lot worse. Speaking of designs, everyone is pretty upset about Sonic's final design, but we're gonna dance around that particular topic just for a second and clarify that I do think they're handling Sonic's both his character and his abilities very well. He's a supersonic hedgehog. The CGI work with Sonic, on his effects on the environment and his speed is actually really good. Um, Clearly, whoever's writing and directing it, both respects and likes the source material. So like, it's not like they're completely changing him. He seems to act and behave and run around really fast like Sonic. He spin dashes. I mean, so it's hard for me to complain about any of that. I mean, you know, um, where people seem really hung up, especially, is Sonic's actual design, which I do get because it's definitely not the best design. There's a lot of things about it that I think could have been better, but at the same time, I don't know necessarily how much better it would have been because you're talking about trying to take Sonic and put him into live action. That was already a tough bill from the get go. Um, so I think they could have done a lot worse. Um, I don't think he looks hideous. Um, I think he still looks like Sonic. He just looks like a different stylized version of him. And people in general, especially when you get like a hardcore fan base like this, get really hung up on design changes. I mean, people were so pissed about Boom's design change, and that wasn't even really a big thing. But people bitched about that for hours at a time, and this is way more drastic than Boom's was. Not that I'm defending Boom, by the way, because Boom turned out horrible. Well, the game did. I guess the show is okay, but you know what I mean. Anyway, so this is obviously a bit more of a drastic change, but he still looks like Sonic. I still recognize him as Sonic the Hedgehog. So it's not like it's the end of the world. And they seem to be handling it more kind of like a not so serious kids film. And you may say, well, there's a lot of adult fans, and blah blah blah. But you have to remember, Sega for years has maintained and continued to go along this route that Sonic is a children's franchise. They haven't attempted to do serious Sonic in a long time. Um, I mean, Forces tried to get serious, but they still danced around serious issues to try to appeal to children. And I think the movie is definitely trying to be more of a kids' film. Um, Will adults be able to enjoy it? I don't know. I haven't seen it. Nobody has. Well, I mean, the other people working on it. You know what I meant. Anyway, um, that being said, what I see right now, I don't feel a need to get all upset about or complaining about, because at this point, what I see is, could it be better? Probably. Could it be a lot worse? Yeah, yeah. I think it could have been. So I mean, I am being cautiously optimistic about it. I'm hoping the movie itself will at least be entertaining. And again, there are some positives that I already mentioned to note about it, so it's not like we're dealing with a situation where there's no way this could possibly be good. I look at it and I'm like, I see some things that tell me that maybe this will be at least entertaining. Some people have compared it to the Super Mario Brothers movie. I'm not sure that's fair, because Super Mario Brothers movie, I don't think like anybody looked like who they were supposed to be, except maybe Mario and Luigi, and even that was not even that accurate, and nobody else looked right, and the source material was completely wrong. Or at least here it looks like at least Sonic himself, um, you know, in terms of his powers and abilities, is more appropriate to what we should be working with, what we should expect from him himself. And with Jim Carrey as Robotnik, he seems like he's really taken the role well and is enjoying it and is going to have fun with it. And Jim Carrey is usually pretty entertaining. Um, so I'm hoping for the best here. I will let you know once I've seen it. Whenever it comes out, I'll go see it, and I'll complain if I feel a need to. I'm hoping that doesn't happen. I'm hoping I don't have to complain about this. Um, because at the end of the day, is it the worst thing in the world? I mean, as Sonic fans, we've dealt with so much garbage over the years. Okay, we we have, and you know that. Okay, so I don't think it's. I don't think even this is. If this turns out atrocious, I don't think it's going to be worth getting emotional over. If that makes any sense. Anyway, I just wanted to give my 2 cents about it. Feel free to disagree. I don't really care. I just know people are gonna ask my opinion, whether you like it or not. That's fine. It's whatever. Those are my thoughts right now. Um, till next time, I bid you a fond farewell.